So in terms of relationships, when you go into the civil service and you go into that big, quite daunting place where everyone knows what's going on and you're there for the first time and you don't know how it works, I think the key is to identify those individuals who are going to make your life easier and make the life of your minister easier. So there'll probably be the private office, the private secretary in particular, and then there'll be the various policy leads. But then there's also the other people in the building that will make your life easier and make it work better for you and for the minister. And you shouldn't forget those people. The people like the drivers, the people who do the post, the people who actually make the building work and function properly. And I found that if you manage your relationships with all of those people, then you'll get the best out of everybody and it'll make your minister's life much easier.
I think it's really important for special advisors when they start, and indeed throughout their whole time as special advisors, to keep in close and constructive contact with the officials in the department. Your role is different, and sometimes you will have to challenge those officials, and sometimes you may well fall out with them over a particular issue, but you have to keep the relationship in place. It's critical for you, and it's also important for them. And sometimes as a special advisor you can forget just how many people need you to be on top of your game and to be in contact with them, for them to be able to do their jobs properly as well. And so that's important to bear in mind. For a SPAD who's dealing with the media, it's particularly important to work closely with the departmental press team. They are absolutely vital if you are going to get the message across of what you're trying to achieve, and if journalists across the country and in all different types of media are going to successfully understand what you're trying to do. So these are people who you need to invest time in, help them understand the policy themselves, stay in contact with them so they know what you're doing and what they're doing, and basically help them to succeed. If they succeed, then the government is far more likely, and your minister is far more likely to succeed in their overall objectives. It's a team game between a special advisor and the officials they work with. Like any team, it's not always harmonious, but you ultimately have to stay in the same team and work with each other.
And above all, I think it needs to be a cooperative approach, where there's mutual respect between the officials and the special advisors, and there is reasonable openness about differences of view. The worst sort of situation is where the special advisors are briefing the minister behind the back of officials, and they can't understand why it is the minister won't agree to whatever it is they want him to agree to, or conversely that the officials are trying to freeze out the special advisors by playing clever games about the access they give them to information or not.
Well, definitely the minister's private office, and it's very important to be able to get on and engage and be honest and have a sort of the confidence both ways with the minister's private secretaries, including their senior private secretary, or my minister was a Minister of State. With the Secretary of State, of course, you'd have the principal private secretary there as well, and it's very important you get on with them, because they are to a certain degree the conduit between your minister and the rest of the department. And then I guess with the DGs, the Director General in the department, because ultimately they are responsible for very large sections of the department.